Peace,
It's
peace.
Monday. It's Magic Monday. It's Magic Monday. I haven't been on in a Magic Monday in a minute. That is for real. And that's why I'm over here like, it's masculine, it's magic, it's marvelous, it's magnetic.
It's a
Oh,
moon
whatever
day.
word that you want to choose for today, you choose your word for yourself. Welcome to Speak to My Heart, where we are here to empower, engage, enlighten others through our stories that we experience. Good, good soup of meaningful storytelling, sharing your overcomingness because you're still standing, you're still here, and most importantly, giving each other the tips and tools that we need so that we can continue to stand, walk, breathe in our true identity intentionally. Today's my guest is Mr. Adonis, my brother from another Mr. Mother Planet and all of that good stuff. Mr. Adonis, I want to say welcome because he was over here, you guys, in Oregon, and he was here for a year and some months. But Mr. Adonis is a young brother that literally wants you to know that you are divine, male or female. No matter what your skin color looks like, you don't care about that. I want you to know that you are truth. You are truth. You are the honest behavior that you need to see your unique God self. None other. I'm not going to waste any more time, you guys. I'm going to bring my brother, Mr. King Adonis. Let
Honor,
him grab the mic.
sincere gratitude and honor, love, abundance, magic. Gratitude for having me in this sacred space. We honor the space and the ability to recognize individuals who have the capacity to speak from their heart and safely as well. To be a certified safe space holder for these types of conversations is a part of the journey as well, and also getting into the just the soulful, authentic expression of the self. We are a quantum ontological philosopher, and just growing through our own personal journey has given us the lived experiences and when you do the knowledge as well, to be able to get to know the body, to get to know nature, and to navigate the life through the highs, the lows, the in between as we grow and flow. So happy to be here.
And he says grow to flow, and I say grow to glow.
Ashe,
That's
ashe.
alignment. That's what I want you and anybody else to know. What real alignment looks like is when you don't know that that person has something that's similar to yours. They didn't take yours. It's just alignment. Your thinking, your thoughts, everything about you is in the same particular frequency. And please don't mind outside. It just happens to be a day that they're doing nothing out there, genuinely. So I'm gonna make sure I'm muted up when you speak. Um, we will start with your name.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Adonis, is that the name that was on the piece of paper when you came into the world?
It is one of them. So I am a man of many names. Every time I show up, my mother. Let's backtrack a little bit, right? So my mother didn't. She wanted my name to have an A in it because her name starts with an A. But my father's name is Timothy Williams, right? So um, I have my name is Timothy Williams as well, but my middle name is Adonis. And Timothy is means to honor the name of God, and Adonis is that God which my father chose me to be named after or in the likeness of. And with that, it was also another aspect of my name as well. My family, they call me Dino, Deno, not like the gratitude Om Sanchar Nama. We just entered the Saturn hour here on the East Coast because we honor the Chaldean orders and the planets. So astrology is a major big up for all my astrologers out there. But my name, Adonis, um, I didn't really used to like have people call me or identify myself as that, but in the coming into myself, I learned like the power of my name. So you utilizing like my different names and associations in different capacities allowed me to show up as in more familiar and more comforting and more home and connectivity. So I call myself King Adonis because before it was before the king was there was the prince, and the prince energy is because we are born royal. I was born and raised in the churches with the gulligees and the singers and the choirs and the ancestors and the tambourines and all that good jazz, right? And because I was raised in that way, my family, like my elders, my great aunts, they always called me by my name. And my name being Timothy, right? It was in memorabilia to keep the honor within the self, as well as walking in our natural godhood. And for Adonis, Adonis is a recognition of the Greek god that was favored by the goddesses. And in a more ancient folklore, his name is Tammuz. And the story of Tammuz is being in alignment with Jupiter and the beauty, and him being transformed into a beautiful garden of poppy flowers. And those poppy flowers are a connection to the earth and to the family and to the lineage and to how we have come back full circle in this divine now moment, and as well as being able to tap in and be in tune with the names of our ancestors, to know that we hold a sacred name and that it's also a biblical name as well, but still being able to do my own decodes and deciphers to bring out what that, what I chose to embody in this life.
Ashe. So I love I know my name. I listened to that song several times. So it's songs that actually do help you along the way when you're really discovering self and you're genuinely on this. I just don't feel right with them. Some don't feel. And the more that you're being around people, that's what I wanted to share with you, that's what started me looking up my name.
Mm-hmm.
It's because a lot of people don't have a name with a Q. So for those of us who have looked up your name and that name is in anywhere between the 1900s and before, you are original, because the names that were given then before that, those names were like passed down names. So they came up with a name and gave it to somebody else from the gods, which is true when you do your homework. But now when you go up in here into the 1800s and 1900s and stuff, they would give names that dealt from, the slave master and all of that. And because you already had the last name, I don't know anybody's name that is Adonis. It's only a couple of people named with Kiana with the Q. So
and sorry to interject, or spell with two N's as well, because most of the time a lot of people mess up the spellings, but the value
the smart thing
of the spelling well is so significant, because every name, every place, it holds a value, and that value is a direct reflection of how we show up in the life. So Adonis with the two N's in the Chaldean is 26, and the 26 is two is the moon, or the balance and the wisdom, and the six is that harmony and the peace energy, and together that's eight, which is the transformation. So we walk a transformational journey.
And I'm so glad you said that with the transformation, because either I was reading or I was there reading. I just I laugh because only us understand, overstand, and hello. In the part where it deals with transformation, any word that has TRANS to it, you need to apply, add, imply to your life, because they go to work together in you. Transformation leads you to transcending, to a transcendental. I got to look at the word when I'm saying this one, but it deals with your mindset. So in order for you to truly transform, you have to allow your mind to go away. It's an imagination. It ain't really there. So, and when you do that, what happens is you transform first, right? And then the mental part of the end of the word, transcendental, it's something like that.
Yeah, transcendental.
Thank you. See, I got a list. I just smile. Just say it. No matter what, just practice saying the word and laugh at yourself. The next person who is in divine alignment, like he just did, they genuinely understand. They know what you're talking. They know the word that you're saying, and they know what the meaning of it. One deals with you, and the other one deals with your mind, the consciousness of you and your subconscious coming together, so that you can be balanced with inside yourself and don't be having these, as I call it, this sporadic. Take the spatula. I'm gonna get you. There's ways to improvise how we actually be acting. Like we kind of do transform and ascend. So yes, take those words and put them together. And they're going to be one word here and one word there.
Yeah.
Transform and transcend. And we got to do it together. It happens together like this. As you're transforming, you're transcending, which is your mind is transcending because your spirit is going higher within you. So your mind isn't really even paying attention to anything because they don't have time, because body and spirit and soul just took over and does this. It's raising in the spine of you, right?
The Kundalini rising. That's the awakening journey and that transcendental experience that happens internally. Because when we breathe, or even when we close our eyes, that's an immediate moment of meditation. When we're breathing deeper into what we call in the traditional Chinese medicine, they say breathe into your Dantian, which is the triple burner, and it serves as a regulator for the temperature in the body, and then it's also a way to adapt and to be in self-regulation. So in certain like traditional like ancient teachings, they teach how each organ is connected to an element, how everything is connected to a color, and each of all these different sciences help us regulate the body. So specifically the sound for that would be zzz, and breathing in and exhaling with that sound is an activation for the inner organs to be in regulation. And then there's also like other forms of
I was telling you what Clint said. And I'm realizing like I'm muted. He was saying the mitochondria. And in biology, if I don't remember anything, I remember that the teacher, because she realized that some of us was not getting it. So she took little characters and little whatnots or whatever and put this together so you could understand. The mitochondria is mighty. So she used like the dragons and the big mighty characters for that to show you how this works. Would you explain that from, I know my perspective of it. I don't do biology, okay? I don't do biology stuff. I am the biology. How they taught me in school was not real biology because I understand it spiritually. I don't understand it when it comes to
the technicians.
The science technician of it, because I'm over here, but that ain't how I operate.
Yeah. So in reality, we all have 5 fingers. We all have 10 fingers, but we all have five limbs on our fingers, right? And these connect to the 5 and 5, 5 and 5, right? That's your two toes, your 2 hands. So that gives you 20 limbs, right? And those could connect directly to the 20 amino acids in the body. And when you get into the amino acids, each of them is codified with a C, a G, a T, and a U in our genetic structures. So in these genetic structures, it can be simplified into 4 or into 5, and with these different understandings of how our cells are being weaved and co-created into different cells and storms of like revelation and awakening to recatalyze the DNA into being more receptive to how it's structured and processed, right? Because we navigate the DNA with our breath and with our heart. From my understanding, every time we breathe in, we are creating the song of our heart, and that song is the in the heart is what is pumping and is creating the 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 the, the geometric structures and sequence of how the DNA is coming into the light, or how the DNA is being formed. And with this deep like interpretation, it's really about how to see your body as the map, how to see your body as the the creator of your cells. And this is why our words are so important, because when we speak over ourselves. We speak, the very first person that hears what you're going to say is your body, and then that ripple and that sound wave from the internal gets received and reflected on the external. And that's how we are co-creating this life with sound power, and we're breathing into the body to allow these different codons. And the codon rings essentially is another word choice or science that people can get into to be able to study how genes and science and things are all put together, especially when it comes to like the I Ching, because I studied the I Ching, which is an ancient science about navigating those turning points. And we use the I Ching to see how it connects to the sequencing of the DNA, and how each hexagram, which is connected to the elements. So right now we're in the season of thunder, and thunder is the sound that comes before the lightning. And in this elemental energy, it comes from the Bagua, which is the Bodic Eightfold Path, or the the noble path of the Buddha, or the Eightfold Buddhic Path, as some call it. But it's all about becoming more enlightened and awakening, and being able to see, even if you don't want to go in such a deep level to the DNA, you can still know that doing simple practices like breathing deeper into the body, and using the mind to make the conscious connection to the subconscious. Because one thing about the body, it breathes without you thinking about it. So
Yeah,
doing
you said something that was dealing with simple,
yeah.
simple. I have where, because my two first things I can't even ask you now because we've already covered that, and this is how alignment works. 9 times out of 10, I do not have to ask anybody anything, because divine alignment, trueness, working in your gift, has you where you would write down something. What does this mean? And then I get ready to probably ask you. I don't have to ask you, because the flowing of yourself, being in tune, right, allows you to be in this oneness of space. Allows you to be, it's like I'm here, but I'm also fully aware of my next. Since people really want to understand what it really looks like. It looks like I can see my next. When you get off of here, what are you planning on doing? My next is usually I take a minute to have a break, right? So it goes into the thing where it says, what works for you works for you. But what is the thing that's best for you? When you got to that space, oh yeah, that's where I was going. I didn't have to ask. He already can see I'm going to ask that question. When did you get to the point of realizing this is best for me? Because when you realize that you have to do this for you, you have to also remove yourself. You have to remove my whole being from doing what I'm used to doing, period. And it's not talking about a job. It's talking about my responses, the same pattern of behavior. Hold up, and don't forget the same people that you want to go hang out with. You might be right there in the same facility or neighborhood with these people. Adonis, what did that look like for you when you realized, oh, I can't do that no more, because this is best for me?
It was kind of an abrupt situation that happened. Not even abrupt. For me, it was more like being aware of cycles and patterns and like if cause and effect. The universal like print or hermetic principle of vibration, right? And correspondence. When I remembered or rediscovered the awareness of the hermetic principles and then like started to apply them, my simple practice for me is my daily habits and my daily routines and keeping my routines in alignment. Use different sciences and different systems um, as my spirit feels called, because what works for one can it's everything. I heard Ecclesiastics, everything has its time and place, everything has a season and a reason, and being able to pinpoint and have precision in accurately aligning the alignments, it comes in by taking care of myself first. So when you choose yourself first, when you choose like the practices that like have been given to me is like I don't answer no phone calls before noon. And like it's just one thing that even specifically for today was really super helpful, because as I was sitting in the sun and sitting with my ancestors and just communing and breathing with my breath, it allows clarity and better events to take place in the life, because when we are present and when we're in the moment with ourselves, everything that the universe has for us that we are intentionally speaking and sowing into the universe is reflected as well. And then we also are knowing in the awareness that we are aligned in the universal frequency of pronoia. And pronoia means that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. So because you're muted.
You said Anua means what?
Pronoia. Pronoia means that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. It's the
Huh.
opposite of paranoia. So when you
I
work in the
just was like, bro, you got to get out of you have to get out of this. Okay. You got to get out of it. And I'm a mental health advocate and peer support. So these are sometimes what it looks like on the other side of the videos that y'all don't see. It is like a bunch of scratchiness and signals going off everywhere, right? So if I'm in my, what you said this word is again? I'm up here.
the word is pronoia.
Instead of paranoia,
Yeah,
pronoia.
to get out the paranoia, you anchor yourself in the pronoia, because when you anchor yourself in the pronoia, you are, they say, like happily blissful, but it's not ignorance, because you're still consciously aware that you're choosing to be in it's a conscious choice. And that's why it's a spiritual practice. Because once you start to embody these principles and once you align yourself fully in that, it is not only tested, but then it is reflected.
Glad. Oh, we got to do this. Thank you all for being here to the Speak to My Heart show today. It is a magnetic Monday with Mr. Adonis here to share his story, experiences, knowledge, wisdom, and most importantly, standing in his truth of who he is himself. Hello.
Oh, that's so
Always.
funny. It's so funny because I recently was just having a conversation with a fellow astrologer, and she was saying like every Adonis she ever met is always themselves. So that's another association to the name.
How important is it to accept the person right now? The acceptance does something different. Even though we admit, let's do this thing. Do you accept you right now? Accept your arms. I got to work on some things. See, this is things you got to work on, just like your mouth, your attitude, your behavior, your perception, everything about you. You getting up in your old habits and all that. But y'all making fun of things that I can work on easily. And you over there can't work on the things that you need to.
The shadow work, people don't have the wherewithal to really take that time to go within. But to answer your question as well, um, when coming together and alchemizing in relieving the self of all the mishaps and the chaos and the disagreeable energies in the life. We transmute them with love. Like we meet the non-love with love because it's about accepting ourselves with love unconditionally for everything that we've been through and everything that we are going through right now. Because we also are not supposed to look like what we're going through. Because we have the strength to push through and empower and also to be comfortable with thyself, to be comfortable in the silence, to be comfortable in the noise and the chaos of the environment, and still be able to breathe and ground and anchor oneself in the present moment, because you can't be yesterday and you can't be tomorrow. So when you're here in the present moment and it's just you and the wind and it's just or you and your ancestors, you're never really truly alone. So when you know that you're never truly alone, it's easy to accept. It's easy to embrace and connect or reconnect to how integral and divine really truly is, because that is the essence of the inner self, and that's what really being able to speak to your heart is about, right? For me, being able to speak to from the heart and to allow those heartfelt connections to be recognized more than just energy of force, but to know that our words create our worlds, that I am attracting abundance and prosperity opportunities to me each and every day. And if you need to say that to yourself every day, take that and say it to yourself every day and allow yourself to step into miracle territory. It's an affirmation that I say every day to let us be great, to change the game, because we live in a game of life. We live in what they call the matrix. What the matrix is the mother, and we all come from the mother. We all come from a womb. We all come from the waters that bring forth the life, right? Ashe. And and in the waters that bring forth the light, that's where we find for fortification and foundations and form. In these, in the finances, in our bodies that take up space, takes up breath, takes up awareness. It takes knowledge to shine the sun and the light and the awareness of wisdom, of natural birthright, of natural freedom, of natural cadence, of natural synchronicity. Synchronarchy is a word or a term that we use in the Gene Keys to identify how the universe is always working in coherence and in perfect. We are imperfectly perfect beings. And once we recognize that we are the miracles, that we are already perfect, and just allowing the highs and the lows to rise and to sometimes think again, but not to spiral, but to elevate into a exponential like blossoming and to really bloom within the self, because that's how the heart unfolds in that 528 frequency, just like the flowers, just like the vibrations of the bees. And that's the love. And that's the heart. And that's Venus. And that's where we come from. Back to the start.
To the start. Back in life.
Back
That's the
to reality.
y'all go come on now.
Back
That's
to the here and now.
here and now. And that's what we have to get to, is that part where we're realizing that you are in the here and the now. Are you really in the here? I had to move because that was whatever they're doing on that side was just ooh, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't stop. And they're outside doing I live in an apartment, so whatever they're doing outside that they could have did last week, they decided to wait till today. It's like you can't do those things, you just sit there. Have you gotten to a point where you just look at people, because he's speaking of a lot of the people that I have followed or have, followed over the years and just not paying no attention to as who they are. Because you could be following somebody and they could be teaching, throwing gems in you, and you not know who their person is, right? What's one person that you woke up to and that you were following that you didn't know until you like, I've been listening to you the whole time. You have that reaction. It's like no words some of the times, like me knowing that you were here in Oregon. I'm like, when? Dr. Moms, though, really?
Mm, 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 mm. That was, just to speak about my experience in Oregon. I used to spend a lot of my summers as a child camping in like by Timothy Lake and in the up there in the Catskills and going fishing with my father and a lot of my cousins over there. And most of my ancestors over there are like Blackfoot and stuff like that. But for me, it was really an opportunity it was an opportunity to get more awareness of the land itself. Like, I was born and raised in Southside Jamaica, Queens. Like, here it's city, it's conveniency. Over there, you can't be. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be properly prepared. And in that energy is also like my Pluto line. So me living on in that Pluto energy was very transformative. It was very liberating for me to be more familiar within myself as well as my lineage as far as my fatherland is concerned. Likewise.
Wow. Well, I'm a wow because that was something I wanted people to really hear. That key word right there.
333.
That one right there. 333. So today was a little bit different, you guys. The time frame was supposed to be 3
Hold
and
on,
6.
I think my sound went. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think
I can
okay. I can't hear you. I'm gonna come back and come back. I'm gonna leave and
Okay.
come back because my alarm
Okay.
just turned off. Mess with the sound.
Okay. So we're on the off sound and he'll be right back, and we're not going anywhere. Um, I like how he was sharing about being here versus, when you're from a different country, how the convenience is. In a different country, they do have to probably walk, have to um, be mindful of where you're going, where you're stepping. Here, you can go catch a bus. You just hop a bus and go anywhere and get in a car, or just start walking. There, when we look at survival here, that is their lifestyle. So you're making survival mode in your root chakra, your lifestyle here when it's convenient. I'm speaking to myself, okay? I don't speak to nobody else, even though it might sound like it. And if it do, hey, let's just put that shoe on, lace it up, and let's do different. It's just time to do
First,
different.
the shoe fits, wear it. Take it how it resonates. Let the rest fly.
Stuff some socks and tissue in and make it fit. I don't care what we have to do. It's time to start taking some things. And we were considerate. I think it's where we have gotten to a place of inconsideration and thoughtlessness. It's me, 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 me. It is you, 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 you. But when your soul is selfish, it ain't even about you no more. You have now projected yourself outside of your soul so that you can be me, 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 me. And now all I see is EGO. And it's time for me to go.
We call that people often talk about the dark night of the soul, but one thing that me and another Cancerian brother of mine that we're working on is a book, and it's about healing the dark night of the ego, and to really come into or shine the light of our awareness on the shadows of the ego, right? Because oftentimes people be like, oh, you got to kill your ego is this, your ego is right? But in the anatomy of it, right, where is your ego identified in the anatomy? As a body part, as an organ that holds energy, that supports the ecosystem and the life and the functionality of the total being that we are, the total human being and the human experience that we are, right? And the ego in the human design system is associated with the will center, but it's also called the heart center. And a lot of people don't. And in the human design system, just statistically speaking, they say that about 30% of people have a defined heart, meaning that 70% of people have an undefined heart. So what that means is that 70% of the population in the world is amplifying the heartfelt energy of others.
Confirmation, alignment, balance.
And that's just nature.
But see, I'll resonate quickly when nature does it versus an actual sound, like from your gadgets and gadgets, right? But when nature does it, it's divine, true alignment. See? And energy don't lie. Okay? So when you're speaking or somebody else is speaking, welcome in. Thank you for all for being here, you guys. Mr. Adonis is speaking today, sharing his story, and this is what it looks like to be in Speak to My Heart. And it's a conversation, so thank you all for being here. Mr. Adonis said something, and his name is Mr. Adonis. To y'all.
Like I said when we first got started, a man of many names.
Of many names. He said the inconvenience and convenience. Now let's put that into perspective of being here. So are you really inconvenient? You literally can go get you some water from anywhere.
Say that one more time.
I'm just speaking it out loud, what I see. And being in another country, we see all the beautifulness, right? We see all, but we just like being in where I'm at. You don't see what goes on in my city unless you're here. You don't know what goes on in Oregon at all. Portland, Beaverton, that's where I'm at right now, Beaverton. But you don't know what goes on unless I walk around my phone every day on video recording. I don't know what goes on in Jamaica except no more than what they share with us. The other way to know what goes on somewhere who lived it. Mr. Donovan gave us a nice brief explanation of where we look at things for convenient, right? It's easy for you to go to the store. It's easy for you to go get this. It's easy for you to go do that or whatever. It's not easy in a country like that. It is not. There's no buses like that.
They don't even got 24-hour bodegas in Oregon. I mean, they got him here and there, but in New York, the culture, the lifestyle, the energy is different. It's a different sun. It's a different time scale. Like when I'm on the West Coast, I notice that I rise earlier, even if I know that because I know that people on the East Coast are getting their day started. So what we call that is the unfair advantage, to be able to be in an earlier time because the sun sets later, so you still have more time to work with the energies, because we all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's about what we choose to make and do with that.
But I'm proud of you that you made a choice to get to know you.
Indeed. Because I had to choose myself. I drove across the country by myself in 2.5 days, the same week as 15 tornadoes was happening across the country. And in those 2 days, it was just me in my car. And what I did was I was listening to my Earth, Wind, and Fire and my Aretha Franklin and getting into my soul and watching the whole sky turn into a rainbow, seeing how much land, how the mounds and the pyramids and the trees, and just being aware of the land that we are on, and that the vibe in is all connected, and being on that pilgrimage for myself, coming back to my homeland because I was born here, so I lived on that coast for that year, for that journey, and then when I returned back to my home, it was really like completing a cycle. And then we have No, it's all right. It's all divine alignment. So we give thanks to the
Yeah,
chime.
I'm not over here giving love to them, and you're over here sharing. It is a beautiful experience. That's what it feels like to be in high vibrations. Things just be happening, and they're happening because of you. Hey, 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 welcome in. And when you are in this, as I call it, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, 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 joy, joy, you have to get in this big kid. Well, why is that? Because your adult self don't know how to do nothing but be an adult. Adults don't like things. Yeah, they don't. I've been around a lot of adults right now. I'm an adult myself. I'm around adults all of the time. Adults do not like to hang out. We don't want to, I got to, adults, adults complain. Adults get complacent and doormat. Think about you as your adult self right now, right? Are you really fun to be around? Do you want to have fun with you? What do you like doing? Right now, what I like doing, what I'm saying is the negative disposition of how you answering that is the reason that you don't know what you like doing. When you are negative about somebody asking you something simple, you are still stuck in somewhere stereotyped, superficial, unaddressed issues. It's real. When you ask a kid, do you like that? They're going to give you an answer, yes or no. When you ask the person who's like 80, 90 something years old, do you like some, yes or no? They'll tell you if I'm willing to try, hey, I might go. I just want to know what is stopping you from having the greatest journey of all with self. That goes to my next question with Mr. Adonis. Even though I have my notebook, I memorized my stuff. What was in the way, other than Adonis, that was hindering you? You know, we have things, I can say mine was me looking outside myself because I give all the time. And as I'm giving all the time, your person of you does have this expectation, even though it's not bad. You can have an expectation because of desire of yourself to somebody give you back, somebody give you word, somebody giving a hug back, simple stuff, right? And you're not receiving that, you will eventually start thinking something's wrong with you. And I did. It wasn't until I said, no more, enough. I'm gonna give me, because I was in a people pleasing place. And it was doing harm to me very emotionally because I was like, what's wrong with me? So I had to stop and I had to give to myself. And I had to go love on me and do that little shadow work of, well, I should have listened at you, Kiki, and I wasn't listening at you. Back and forth with your teenager and your child of you. I had to have those conversations because I said I'm gonna listen from now on. I'm gonna receive. And that's where I'm at, is in receiving.
You know, that's so funny because there's been times where, like, I've been kicked out of my own house for, walking this right and walking this life and having the type of information and the sciences and coming into this awareness. And I've had, in certain specific scenarios, I've given people the fast that was given to me. It's called STFU fast. And it saves lives because when you be quiet and you allow yourself that silence, that golden vibration of the silence, you get clarity, you receive wisdom beyond the superficial, beyond the rigidity of the adulting. Because one thing that is so important that I've noticed is how adults are still just little people in big bodies. And because they are little people in big bodies, they don't have the conscious awareness to recognize when the higher truth is being spoken to and through the divine vessel. And it also is a matter of choice because People have to choose the awareness and the consciousness that they would like to speak to and from, because there's a time and a place to be in that childlike space. There's a time and a place to honor your teenage and youthful experiences. And then we're also have to be aware of our position in this life, of our purpose in this life, and when we get off track, how to reground and recalibrate ourselves in that journey. Because it's in the recalibration, it's in the maintenance. Everybody likes to acquire new information and new knowledge, but it's in the maintenance, it's in the discipline and the discernment of how it works for you personally. And when you know how things and energy works for you personally, that's how you make the conscious choice to work with others.
Show facts. Show facts. Being very start choosing stuff instead of going along.
And that's another thing. People idolize things
Yeah, they just go along.
get along, and it's when you like wake up and be intentional, like every day, set a goal for yourself for the day, or have set a goal for the month, set a goal for the year. And when you have these types of like for me, I write these things out so that I can keep myself accountable.
What does that really define when one is for yourself? Because accountability is standing in your truth. How would you summarize that up of a person actually standing in truth?
Well, here's the thing. Truth is interesting because accountability to me doesn't necessarily look like truth, because most of the time people have to take accountability for the lies they told. And accountability is a matter of service. It's a matter of recognition of the work that was done. It's different than the truth, because truth changes. Two truths can exist at the same time and be in complete alignment and be on complete opposite sides of a spectrum. And this is why these are like, when you consider like music, right? They're all playing the same 8 notes, but it's different cadence, it's different orders, there's a different sequencing into how the expression flows. So that's how one is able to truly tell and know how what's for them and what's not for them, and how to come up out the darkness and step into the light. And sometimes you got to return to the darkness, because that is the original flame. That's the womb science, because that mitochondria, as we were speaking to earlier, is that genetic direct connection that gets passed down from the mother to the daughter, and from the mother to the son. And it's from the feminine mitochondrial Eve, from which we all root from. And from my teachings, we refer to her as algae, because that is the most cellular, like receptive or familiar to like the human vessel, in likeness to the mycelium, in likeness to the chlorophyll, which takes us back to the plant kingdom. My Zazove, which means my wild nature woman, because I am a primordial. I am the son of the primordial. And in that walk, in that light, in that truth, as a nature man, as a wild womb man of nature, I was told and I was taught how to go into nature, how to commune with nature, how to go to the trees, how to put my back against the tree, to make the connection internally and externally, how to be forgiven by nature so that I could walk this right, so that I could have this awareness, and so that I could be able to give it to others who did not know better.
Right. I say. Go on, cross your leg, bro, because I can't. I'm in a little chill. I sipped the tea for y'all. That one.
Thank you.
And that's what, when I say stand in your truth, I love the fact that you said accountability also deals with them lies that you know that you were telling, that you know that you were giving. Forget the behavior. The behavior is what allowed the next person to see and know that that was not truthful. And then the sad thing of it is that, yes, say yes to you is about you saying yes to yourself, right? Saying yes to the good, the bad, the messy, the ugly. the part of it is that when we want to take our being, and I said it last night, whatever idea you have of me in your mindset ain't the truth.
I just said
It's
this on another
true.
podcast. I don't know who you think I am, but I am not that. So this is where people gotta let go of the expectations, because people often put a lot of expectations. Even children put expectations or ideologies onto their parents for who they think that they should be because of what's seen on TV. Well, this is reality, and let me reintroduce you to King Adonis. I'm in reality, and this is where we set people and allow people to step and walk in their truth, and even rediscover the parts of themselves that they didn't know were there. Because as a collective, as a tribe, we were all given different informations. We're all generating and generationally, like generations. The intergenerations are intermingled and overlapping in such a form and fashion where there's so much info to know. It's knowing what's for you, knowing what makes your body feel good, what makes you want to come out and pop out and show spirit, what makes you want to breathe into life. Because you could pop out and show the Nagas, but I like to pop out and show spirit, because that's where I reside. Because we are spiritual beings having these human experiences in different likenesses, in different cadences. So we don't discriminate against other people's truths, but we recognize their truth for what their truth is, and we know our truth. So this is where it's important to be able to have compassion and grace for other people's stories, because we're all coming from different spaces. And the truth of the matter is, it could have been you. So we give gratitude for the stories and the journeys that we've been given, and how we've overcome those journeys and those trials and tribulations, because they make us stronger, they make us better, they make us recognize the love and the energy that we were always carrying within. And that
I
same love is within all of us.
hear that. I'm gonna leave it right there. Now, you continue your mic. It's your mic today. But that's where it is. It's being able to even take the word discrimination. And I never went there. The real crime is dissing your nation of you. So when you're against me, really genuinely against, I ain't talking about, oh, Key said something, because 9 times out of 10, this is where you got to know yourself. Knowing yourself is knowing that Kiana wouldn't do nothing to you, but she might say something, okay? She might say something that you're not going to agree with. That's me loving me. That's me knowing me. See, if you had told me that years ago and which people was in your mouth and all this, and I'm just looking at it, y'all say what y'all say, why I can't say what I want to say. You know, it's a tit for tat even in that area. And I be serious with that. You said what you said. I want to say what I want to say. And then the moment that the fire, which is the dragon, opens their mouth, you can't deal with that. So now you fine. Hey, grandma and auntie. Because I was about to go to see, laughter is good for the soul. See how contagious it is. Laughter come. We give so much other things to each other or ourselves. Give yourself something simple today. Laugh at you. Love you. You the one got to live with you while you trying to make somebody else live with you. You ain't learned to laugh with you yet. And when you laugh, because Auntie and them were just laughing, so I just went on and take that. I just because,
Full circle, it's all in alignment.
and it's also because his picture. I chose this particular picture because it does deal with the tree. Because I know he was gonna go there. Because I go there, so I made sure I touched some trees yesterday and the day before I ever got right here. One tree I touched, I felt in my hand because I had touched it with my hand, and I felt, and then I looked up, and it was like, you just go somewhere else. That's the best way for me to explain it. Simple. You actually do if you are open. In order to touch a tree and receive the nutrients that your soul needs, you have to be open. The body of you and the mind of you need to be empty so you can be open. When it's empty, nature can pour into you and also pull out what's stagnant, right? You might hug a tree like I did the other day, and I
Yeah,
was standing
hug the
there
tree.
and
Let's hug
started
the tree.
crying a little bit, and I didn't stay there. I had a little tear.
Let's just hug a
Because
tree. We're gonna hug the tree for the collective. This is a collective tree hug.
tree, hug the tree today, you guys.
Much love. Much love.
Yes, much love. And I just want to say this is going to be
No
my last
wait.
right here before Adonis is. If you don't take away anything out of this today, magnetic self that you are, your magnetic being, just use the word magnet and allow yourself to gravitate to what actually genuinely is there, what you desire there. If you want to go pick up art, well, I love art, so that's why I talk about art and paint and stuff like that, right? If you want to go, don't do that. You want to sit and watch your favorite show with your nice cup of hot cocoa, do that. 90% of you is a lot of simpleness that you look at and see somebody else is going to, say something about. Don't let other people's opinions about life, don't let other people's opinions about their experience, about what they should, could have, would have, and all that and everything, get in the way of you. To my brother out there, Galactic, he made sure I put my YOU back and say yes to you. It still say yes to you with one U, but the U is for you to yield. Pause. Stop. It's your time. Okay? And do your own. That's why I said pause. Stop. It's your time. Not have a time. It's your time. You're going to have to do some dodging and dipping right now and be like, hey, I can't keep doing that. I like this livelihood. I like the joy experience. We always say, love and light. When have you experienced some exuberant excitement? When have you got excited for you? When have you just been like, I gotta stop because my little cousin should come up here in a minute because we're
Well, that's
laughing.
exactly what we need as a collective to celebrate ourselves, to celebrate life, and to give ourselves a round of applause. And those are just some of the simple practices that I do for myself each and every day. So, giving gratitude to like the simple things of just celebrating the body, celebrating the breath, and being in love with the self. Because the love, self-love, self-acceptance is what helps us navigate and stay clear in our own internal authority.
And you know what about that celebration? That goes to the discussion that was the other day, that was Friday. VIP. Remember, stay in your VIP room. Your
Yes.
virtue, your integrity, your purpose. And you can just flip them and say, my value, my victoriousness, my intentionality. Hello, whatever words you want to put right there. My passion, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it looks like you're going to have to get properly prepared for this journey right here, because the performance that you've been performing, can't work on this stage right here. So we're going to go back through a new orientation class. You know when that start? In a day, in the 2 days, in the 2 days. Tomorrow's the 31st. So you got one more day. And then you could go over here and be like, hey, it's a whole new brand new year for me. It's a new day for me. It's a new beginning for me. So today, March the 30th, shout out to my biological father up there. Okay? Today, right here, this day, y'all better get y'all OG status on you. Yeah, you better go pull something of you. Better.
Much gratitude. You know, this is the life, this is the work, and this is what it means for it to be an authentic experience. So, like, we are human beings having human experiences and moving forward in our own authentic communal expressions. Because this is the time. It's never been a time like this before, family. And this is the most best opportunity that the universe has given us to just be ourselves each and every now moment. You can't be yesterday, you can't be tomorrow. You can only be here in the now moment. So each and every now moment is an eternal present grace of a miracle. So honor and gratitude, much love.
Ain't none of us named Wednesday. So whatever your name is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pick a day of the week. Okay? Go watch American Gods. That's why I chose Wednesday. Ain't none of us named Wednesday. Be you. Be original. If they don't like you, so what? Their opinions don't make you super satisfied or soulfully you. Super satisfied or soulfully you. Whatever you want to do with it, you can do with
That's
it.
a lot. That's alignment right there in itself. Because for all those that want to tap into my season of the Sabbath services and serious alignments, it's a podcast about the Sabbath, like that was done on Saturday, but like 2 3 years ago. Because we have already done the work, so this is the space where we are inviting people to go back and see the works that was done, see the messages that have been delivered, so that we can all be resonating in the same dimensions and quantum leap and intermingle and ascend and elevate into the moksha, into the liberation, into the quantum essence that we are. Ashe.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold Mr. Adonis because I told him I was gonna let him be here for an hour. I just got back. You know, he knew I got back with the baby, so I'm gonna spend some family time. Hello, family, real familia.
Shout out to the family.
The real family here too.
Ashe.
Would like to take it on my show, you guys. Just DM me, message me, you let me know. And all it is a flyer you send me, and I create it for you. And then you're right here on the seat. It is streamed to the YouTube channel because we want to move from spaces where we are unable to speak freely, freedomly, on purpose, intentionally. And all these words are go together. Freely do I speak because I'm free indeed, because inside of myself, the deed that you canceled out is already free within me. Freedom because of the fact that I'm free and my dome is always free. I'm never stuck in collaboratively, stuck on a pavement and being a doormat for you.
And that's where we pick it up and we spin it right back times two. Okay.
I say, oh, Mr. Adonis, we're going to say it like this now. So he leaves back to the beginning. King Adonis, what is your last words of advice to all of us before we leave today?
Breathe, breathe, breathe in some love, breathe in gratitude, and breathe in harmony, family. Your body is your most important spiritual technology. You are not alone, you're never alone, and you are loved. And if you ever need a guide, a consultation, someone to just be yourself around or with, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Devly or Adonis. That's Devleoh, Adonis with two N's. And I am happy and grateful to be a star seed, a miracle worker, shaman sage, friendly neighborhood, myself in this now time for whatever the divine aligns. And I'm sending much love, honor, and gratitude for you, your body, your ancestors, for aligning us in each and every now present moment. Much gratitude and honor.
Yeah, okay, I've been told so.
Peace, 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 peace.
Peace to all. And this is the Speak to My Heart show with my guest today, Mr. King Adonis. And most definitely you can find him on the TT Streets and the TikTok family. He's on Instagram. Also, I don't know about the Facebook, but Instagram and the TikTok street as who he is, Mr. Adonis, the man with the words of divine truth and behavior, who divinely wants you to love yourself. Divinely wants you to see yourself. You know why? That's why it was named The Authentic Experience. Hello? When you want to see somebody else see theyself, especially when it's the male, hey, y'all gravitate to him. You want to see? You want me to see me? Oh, I'm honored. But what do you see in me? Because when you see you, when you see you, from seeing it from these two eyes right here, and you allow yourself to see you, embrace, get excited, get exuberant, so that you can be in your virtuousness, which is a behavior. of excellence. Continue to say yes to yourself each and every day and allow your light to burn through all the lies, because ain't none of us miserable. We are magnetic forces here to take back everything that belongs to you, and it's already inside of you. Be great on purpose. Deuces.
Peace, peace.